You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 98 of the Battered Heat Fans podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Guerrera, and Solana, free agency has begun. How are you doing, sir?
Well, somebody tell Rob Pelinka. Apparently, one of his staffers let him know yesterday that it was free agency, and he had no idea. The Heat,
I don't
on the
believe
other
that.
hand,
I saw that also.
I don't know, man. The Heat, on the other hand, do have an idea because they know exactly what they are going to do this free agency, and they already started doing it. Simone Fontecchio is back on a one-year deal. Tim Hardaway Jr. is back on a one-year deal. And
back,
yeah, well,
I mean, back to Miami, I guess.
Yeah, he's back home, man. He's back home. The funny thing is, I don't know if you saw, but him and his dad had a interview, and his dad told him, like, hey, you ain't wearing number 10. Number 10 is not coming down from the rafters. So he's not going to be wearing number 10 like everybody's been posting over the last 24 hours. We'll see what number he's going to be. Maybe he'll be 20.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that last week, actually. He did it when he was doing the podcast with Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller, where Udonis like, I wouldn't give up my number to my kids either. You know, I worked for that number. So, yeah, no, he's not giving up the number 10. Let's start with Simone Fontecchio. I can't say I love it. I understand that that's what he does. He shoots, but he doesn't do it consistently. I'm not a fan of Simone Fontecchio coming back. Last year, I thought he was very, very frustrating. I remember he started off, it was like shooting like over 50% for like November and like half of December. And then the rest of the season, I felt like, I don't want to say a disaster, but I felt like he would have a solid game every like 10 or 15 games. I'm not thrilled that Simone Fontecchio was on his way back.
I disagree, man. I disagree. I think, he shot overall 38.5%, which is very high.
Yeah, but that's because if you take out that first month and a half, it's probably a lot lower than that because I felt like he played horribly after that first month and a half.
Yeah, but you have to understand, Danny, the Heat are going to have to round out their roster with a bunch of minimum deal contracts.
Of course.
And look, Simone knows that he can come back on a team-friendly deal. I think this year, with the spacing that they're going to create with having Bam in the paint and having Giannis and possibly having LeBron James, you need those types of players to stretch the floor. And if he can find his rhythm that he had the first couple of months throughout the season, then I think it's going to be a great signing. Now we're going to have to wait and see what happens to kind of decide if it was great or not. In about 6 or 7 months, we'll decide. But as of now, I mean, obviously it's what you need. It's shooting. It's a guy who can rebound, a guy who doesn't get hurt. He's there almost every game. And so those are the types of players that you need to fill out the roster with.
Shout out to our guy, Italy Jet. He's done this show with us in the past, Italian. He's hyped for it. But I don't know. I mean, I get it, right? You need to fill out the roster. I understand. And I'm sure that he came on a team-friendly deal. I wasn't really sure what the deal was, actually. But
it's a minimum deal.
It's a minimum?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not horrible. But the better the devil you know than the one that you don't know. Before we get into Tim Hardaway Jr., Andrew Wiggins went ahead and he opted into his contract. Everybody was really excited because when they saw that he extended, they thought that he had restructured his deal for next year, but he did not. He's still getting paid the $30 million coming up next year, and then it's a lot more team friendly the last 2 years. After doing that, we have a lot less money to work with as far as trying to track down LeBron James and just in general because he took a big chunk of that. If we hope to keep Norman Powell, you're going to have to move off of somebody else in some type of trade because, like I said, Andrew Wiggins opting in. I'm not going to say it killed us because I think bringing back Andrew Wiggins is a positive. I think that defensively, I think he's just a versatile player. I mean, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about how clutch he was at some point last year because I felt like he was coming up clutch in a lot of games. So I think it's good that he's coming back, but it does hinder us financially in other aspects. But I'm glad that he's coming back. I wish it would have been restructured like a lot of people were at first thought, but I'm glad that he's coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm glad he's coming back too. I think he was a good player for the Heat for the last year and a half that he was here after we traded for him. And honestly, if you start looking at what they're building defensively right now, right, and we're not done, but you technically have Davion Mitchell slotted in right now as your starting point guard. You don't have a starting two You know, it could be Pelle Larsson. It could be somebody else that they bring in. You have Wiggins, you have Giannis, and you have Bam. I mean, defensively, Danny, that is a suffocating starting five if you really think about it. And I mean, it's going to be great because everybody in that starting five would defend. And yeah, I mean, I think they still have the opportunity to bring back Norman Powell. They have to move on from Nikola Jovic. That is the big contract that they have to get rid of.
Which was dumb because they put themselves in that situation by giving them that contract early. They did it, we were like, why did they do that? I get that you were signing him off for potential, and if it worked out, then it's like, oh, one hell of a deal. But it was too much of a gamble, and now they're paying for it.
They are. But I mean, I read that they're willing to do something that they normally don't do, which is attach a pick onto that contract to free, up that spot and free up that space so that they can continue to make moves. But one of the other things that I read that was interesting is we always knew that it was going to be tough to build around Giannis and Bam in year one. And that's a lot what the media has been talking about over the last couple of weeks. And it's why a lot of folks are saying, hey, nobody's going to be scared of the Heat. The Heat aren't going to be contenders yet. And that's because, in the summer of 27, the Heat would have a lot of cap space. And in 28 as well. And they'll be able to continue to build. So, it was always going to be tough in this first year to build a super team. They're going to need another free agency summer, and that'll be in 27. But for what they're currently doing, obviously we talked about Simone a little bit. Tim Hardaway Jr. is another one, and they have a lot more targets on their board out there, and you just need the dominoes to continue to keep falling. And the biggest domino would be LeBron.
Absolutely. And before we get into Tim Hardaway Jr. and LeBron, one thing that I forgot, I meant to talk to you about it off air, but I guess I'll do it on here. I went to the Heat store.
You went?
And I asked to get, I was like, F it, I'm just going to roll the dice. Because we had this conversation a couple of episodes ago. I was like, you know what? I want to get my jersey customized. I'm just not 100% sure if Giannis is going to wear the number 34. They won't do it for me.
Why not?
They said they're not allowed. They said I have to wait till July 6th. July 6th, that they'll have tons of Giannis things in the store. But I cannot get Antetokounmpo put on a jersey right now. I was like, come on, man. I want to be the first one to have it. They're like, no, sorry, you can't do it. So.
Really? That's not fair. You should be able to customize your jersey to whatever you want. If you want to put I love the Heat on it, or you want to put screw somebody else, you should be able to put whatever you want.
No, they didn't let me say I gotta wait till July 6th, and they'll have the store littered with things. And also, I've tried to do in the past, and they also don't let me do, because I missed out back in 2013 when they did the nickname jerseys.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to get the white Jesus Shuttlesworth on my jersey. I was a big fan of the movie. He got game and all that stuff. And they won't do that for me either. Coincidentally, also number 34. But they won't do the Jesus Shuttlesworth for me either.
Really?
Go figure. Yeah.
That's weird, man. I'm going to have to talk about that.
All right. So Tim Hardaway Jr. coming back home from Miami. For those that don't know, who was it that won Sixth Man of the Year over Jaime last year? Keldon
Johnson.
Spurs. Keldon Johnson from the Spurs. So he won Sixth Man of the Year. There was 3 finalists. Him, Jaime, which should have won, and then we had Tim Hardaway Jr., which is the third. Tim Hardaway Jr. should have. He was one of the finalists also. Obviously, a great sixth man. So we're not getting necessarily just somebody that's at the end of the road, even though he's 33 years old. He was a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year, and he shot 42% from 3, whereas in Jaime shot 32. Like we're getting a solid player, and as of right now, you were talking about who the starting lineup would be. I think the way the roster is right now, you need shooting in the starting lineup. I think Timmy might be. I would love him off the bench. But as of right now, because we need shooting in the starting lineup, I think I would put him in the starting lineup over Pell.
It's possible. We're going to have to see who else the Heat get throughout free agency to see how they round out the roster. But obviously, you look at who's on the roster today, and yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt it. I think Tim Hardaway could definitely slot into the starting lineup. He could bring some shooting, a little bit of ball handling, some rebounding. He's a big guy. So no doubt. I mean, he could definitely slot in and play that too.
So as of right now, our starting lineup, we don't know what the two-guard situation is, but Davion Mitchell will probably be the starting point guard. You have Andrew Wiggins, you have Giannis, and you have Bam. That's a solid starting five already. If you fill it in with a good two-guard. Now, you and I talked about last episode. I thought that Tim Hardaway Jr. was almost a shoo-in. It happened. I think Chris Middleton will eventually be almost a shoo-in. I think he'll be coming. And I don't know how financially they can make it happen, but I think if it's true that Duncan Robinson is going to get waived by the Pistons, which I have no idea if it's true or not. I hear those rumors. But if that happens, I could definitely see him coming.
I just think he'll command a lot more money.
A lot of money? Yeah.
I think if he's willing to come on a team-friendly deal for a 1 year, and then maybe they re-sign him to a better contract next year if he has a great season, he does that kind of wink-wink deal. I could see it happening because he had his best years down here in South Florida.
He had a good year in Detroit also last year, though.
He did. No, I'm not saying he didn't have a good year, but I'm just saying, I mean, this is where he developed. This is, where he's comfortable. So if we can convince him to come on a team-friendly deal, I mean, we need shooters. So 100% bring him right away. I love 55.
And finally, LeBron James made it official yesterday, right? He's not coming back to the Lakers. The Lakers already made the little post thanking him for his time there. And it's crazy to me how much Laker fans hate him. Like, they've always hated him. And I've known a couple of Laker fans that say that they don't like him because of Kobe. I don't understand it. Like, why can't you just be happy that you had some great players on the Lakers? They hate that guy. And I've seen so many videos since yesterday when the announcement came out of Laker fans celebrating. I think it's so weird.
I mean, they have a complex because of the way that their organization has been run over, since Dr. Buss took over. And look, they've always had superstars. I don't understand the comparisons or the hate because of Kobe.
But that's what it's been, though, because they don't want him to be considered better than Kobe or something.
But he won't be in terms of the Laker uniform.
Right.
Kobe is the GOAT of the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, so whatever.
LeBron going back to Cleveland, I was thinking about this yesterday. To me, makes sense because somebody was like, oh, he'll never have like a statue in LA or anything. Then I was thinking about it. LeBron is never going to be the guy here in Miami. That's always going to be Dwayne Wade.
Correct.
On the Lakers, it'll always be, at least for this generation, it'll be Kobe. And if he were to go to Golden State, like people are saying, it's going to be Steph Curry. Like, the only place that it's his, that people like love him, is Cleveland.
But who wants to go to Cleveland, man?
Him, right? Like, I mean, that's the only way you want to go to Cleveland is you feel like from the surrounding area, right? He's from Akron. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he said that apparently they put it out there. Money is no object.
They'd have to trade. From what I read, they'd have to trade most likely Evan Mobley to get Jaylen Brown to then entice LeBron to come. And if you do that with a Jaylen Brown, with a Donovan Mitchell, with a LeBron and Jarrett Allen, is that enough? I don't know,
but you just scared me. I hadn't heard of that. Evan Mobley with Jason Tatum with that Celtics team. Evan Mobley's underrated, man. I would hate to see him on the Celtics.
He is, but who else do the Celtics have?
Jason Tatum. And they have everybody over there plays well. That's a good squad. I hate them. I hate them so much. But I take them seriously. I don't take the Knicks seriously, but I take the Celtics very seriously.
Yeah, the Knicks, bro. I don't want to talk about that.
No, man. That's why I think that he can compete even if they don't have an incomplete roster this year. If the Knicks can win the championship, anybody could do that shit. All right. I think that's it. Not too much else has gone on. We're going to enter day number 2 of free agency today. Let's see what else happens. I'm excited, man. This team, look, they needed shooting. They went up to Tim Hardaway Jr. They signed Simone Fontecchio. Hopefully he can, I don't know, figure something out. And we got some more coming on the way. So it's really exciting. And then just waiting on LeBron. We don't have the mid-level. We can't offer him the $15 million that we were talking about just a couple days ago.
5.
So I don't know what we're going to do. And I don't know as far as Norman Powell goes. I don't know what we're going to do either because I think people are like, oh, we don't need – I think we need his scoring. I think Norman Powell starting at the 2 guard and then having Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench is really good for this team. And then the LeBron thing, I'm sure we're going to be talking about him for the next couple of days. He said he's in no rush to choose a team, so we'll see what happens. But I'm still hopeful. Even though the Golden State thing is really gaining some traction, and I have a feeling that might be where he ends up, but I would hate that. And I know people are like, oh, I get that he believes that he can win wherever he goes. I'm sure that's how he thinks. But man, like going to Golden State and teaming up with Steph, Draymond, maybe Anthony Davis, which can't stay healthy in the West Coast.
KD
winning over there.
KD been there, done that. I mean, if LeBron,
and that's another thing.
If he goes to Golden State, I think it ruins a part of his legacy because now you're going to a team legit chase rings. Because the other stops that he's had, he was in Cleveland, he didn't win. He came to Miami to technically chase rings, right? But he won them. Then he went back to Cleveland, won a ring, and then he went to LA to get his movie career started while he played basketball, won a championship. If he goes to Golden State, someplace that he has zero attachment to for his last year or two in the NBA, I think it brings down a little bit of his legacy. I just don't see how you continue to see him after. Look, he's going to follow in KD steps. I mean, he's not.
I think it's different than KD though, because with KD was joining the 72 or 73 win Golden State Warriors. Like I think it's different. I think LeBron goes over there and they're legitimate still underdogs. I don't think they'll win the championship. I don't think anybody's going to pick them. Everybody's going to look at them like, oh, these are the old guys trying to prove everybody wrong. So I think in that aspect it's different than Kevin Durant, but I do think that it's weird. Like you're not going to win. And like you have two other options where you have some history there and like it just seems correct. Cleveland, which whatever, if you want to do that, go for it. Or Miami, you have history there. Go and finish what you started. The Golden State thing, not because of chasing rings, because I really don't think that they'll be favorites. I think they'll be underdogs, but I don't see it. I don't like it. But I'm really hoping that he ends up in Miami somehow.
Yeah, we'll see what happens over the next week. Obviously, free agency has begun, but it's not official for another 5 days. You can't make any contracts official until July 6th, and so. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk over the next couple of days with a lot of players rumored to come down to Miami. We just have to sit tight and see what Pat and Nick and Mickey and then put together. Don't forget, man, we have probably the best cap guy in the NBA in Andy Ellisberg. So I have all my faith in the world in the Heat front office. And I think, we're going to be able to shut a lot of people up next season, especially Kendrick Perkins, one guy who was on a Heat bandwagon a few years ago. And lately he's been completely off it, going all over media, talking about how the Heat aren't going to be competitive, how, they're not championship contenders and how he should have gone to Boston. And dude, Kendrick, talking to you, buddy, we got dogs in Miami. We got dogs. We're coming after you.
I agree. I think that saying that this team can't compete when the Knicks just with their slightly above average roster just won the championship, I think that's silly. But I have heard him say that they don't have anybody at the end to clutch and to finish. I can't disagree. Like who we're going to in the clutch? Andrew Wiggins? No, you can't go to Giannis, man. I've watched Giannis play so much. You can't go to him in the clutch, man. They'll just foul him, and he's a really bad free throw shooter.
Nah, he won't be anymore.
Maybe. I don't know.
He got Shaq to make free throws.
No, he made them when they counted, but he didn't make them.
Still made them.
And I will tell you, and I've watched Giannis play a lot. Giannis, one part that I hated about his game is if he gets the ball and the defender moves their feet and get in the right position to defend him, he doesn't have, he didn't. Maybe he will now, right? Maybe the Heat will fix this. But instead of like doing any post move or trying to get around the defender, what he'll do, he'll pull the ball back up to the 3-point line and then get ahead of steam and then just ram his way back to the fucking rim. It's wild. When you watch him play, it's interesting. He makes it work, but he's not the most skillful player, at least not yet. I don't know. We'll see. At least he stopped taking so many shots because he was taking a lot of shots even though he wasn't making them. But, confidence is there for sure.
Dude, the Heat, that's what the Heat do, man. Chris Bosh.
Oh, but Chris Bosh was a dog. I remember I I was looking for pictures. I couldn't find. I owned the Chris Bosh Toronto Raptors. I used to love Chris Bosh on the Raptors. I think he was so underrated.
Man, I can't believe you buy jerseys from other teams. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, there's a from 2000 to 2010. I mean, then again, that was like the jersey era, right? But I used to just love rooting for players. T-Mac was my guy. Iverson. I had D Wade. I had LeBron. I had Melo. I had Bosh. I used to love jerseys, dude. I mean, I still like jerseys. I fucking have jerseys of all over the place.
I think
Any final words? This
the only other team's jersey I have is a Chris Webber Sacramento Kings jersey.
Ooh, Jason Williams would have been a dope one also.
True. But that's the only other jersey I have, and it's not even my size. It's like my son's size because I had it when I was a kid.
No, I stopped after like 2010. I stopped, but there was a period there where I was just obsessed with jerseys and throwbacks, and I used to buy all of them. I used to have a Michael Jordan Washington Wizards, but like the Bullets throwback. It was pretty sick. But yeah, I got off that around 2010, but I was obsessed with buying jerseys all over the place. Any final words, Solana?
No, man, I'm excited for free agency. I'm ready for summer league to start. I saw who's going to be available. The Gardner is going to be there, so I'm going to be watching the games. And yeah, man, I'm ready to come back in a couple days and talk some more free agency.
You saw Conwell with that silky smooth lefty shot. I was watching some of the highlights of him shooting. I was like, oh, okay,
watch out with Travis Keels. He's going to be a good player too. So the Heat have some more dogs in their summer league lineup, and should be a fun summer for them.
Oh, man, it's going to be a fun year. All right, if you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers, so please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And then we will be back in a couple of days to keep going with this free agency stuff, man, because this is a fun time. We're almost at 100 episodes.
I know. Maybe the 100th episode is going to be the one where we welcome LeBron. Miami.
It's funny because that's all has crossed my mind. We'll see. All right, and July 6th, I got to make it out to the Heat store because they don't want to help me out, man. So July 6th, if you're at the Heat store, I'll be there. One of them, Dayland, Dolphin, one of those, because I need my Giannis jersey already, man. All right, appreciate everybody hanging out with us, and we'll be back maybe in a day or two. So until the next one, have a good one.